Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Berea City Council meeting, Thursday, May 22nd, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please let the record reflect that a quorum is present. This time, I would call on Teresa Centers to lead us in the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Teresa.
If you'd like to bow with me. Father God, we thank you for your mercy and for your grace, and we ask for your guidance as we continue to do the city's business. We ask you for protection for all these first responders that are out today here and across our state and the nation. And we pray that you will continue to bless this city and her citizens. It's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Teresa. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve by John Payne? Is there a second? By Jerry Little. Is there any discussion on the agenda? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries and the agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from our May 6, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to approve? By Jerry Little. Is there a second? By Cora Jane Wilson. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the minutes from May 6? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries and the minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is public comment, and this evening we do not have anyone signed up for future meetings. Just a reminder, we do have a sign-in sheet on our table as you walk in, and always feel free to sign in if you want to make public comments. The next item on the agenda is Cassidy here. Cassidy, there you are. I didn't get to meet you before, so I apologize. We do have several proclamations tonight. So without objection, I'm sorry, I got too far ahead of myself. I'm going to get you next. Jumped ahead with my eyes, Cheryl. The next thing we have is park lease signing, and just a couple of comments before we do this. A few months back, we were looking through our park leases just to make sure we were looking at park improvements and possibility of pickleball courts and all kinds of improvements that we wanted to do in our park system. So we thought it'd be a good idea to review our park leases real well, make sure everything was good, or if we needed to do anything special. And we noticed that our 2 leases with Berea College had expired. So our legal team got in touch with Judge Wilson, who's here with Dr. Nixon, president of Berea College tonight, and worked out an extension. And I'm very happy to report that Berea College and the board as well has agreed to a 25-year lease extension on Memorial Park and also on the Berea Park expansion that's commonly known as the skate park. So we're very happy with that and very much appreciative of Berea College for continuing those leases. And I do believe, just a couple of comments before we do the signing, and then I'll give Dr. Nixon the microphone where she can address the council. But thinking back on my times as a boy, how important it is for Berea College and the city of Berea and the citizens to all walk the path together on improving our community and improving the quality of life for the people who live here and who work here and for the people who visit here. So I think that this is very much reflective of that long-term relationship between Berea College and the community of Berea as a whole, and how together we make things better for everyone. And again, very grateful for Dr. Nixon in particular as the executive, but also for others who were involved, and for Judge and our legal team for kind of getting that done. That lease will be to the city at no cost to the city, just where everybody knows. And again, that's a large amount of parkland that provides recreational opportunities that we wouldn't otherwise have. And we're very grateful for that. So Berea College Council Judge Wilson is here. So Judge, would you like to go ahead and Dr. Nixon, we'll go ahead and do the signing?
Sure thing, Mr. Mayor. 25 years. Does that sound good? Sure, I want you all to stand up. I won't move. Get a market on a big calendar. I know I won't. I know I won't.
No, look at Crystal in the back.
Thank you. That's just something we need to do.
Thank you again for working with us. All right.
Thank you. I'll only speak for just a moment. But I do like the idea that this 25-year lease, we're leaving a real legacy that will live long beyond both of us, Mayor Fraley. So thank you. I do just want to say that I am honored to stand here tonight and to just say how important it is to engage in moments like this that are about continual renewal of the partnership with the city of Berea. And I think, I've come in before saying how I believe this partnership between the college and the city is crucial, and that I'm eager to continue to build on that. So it's nice that we can extend this idea of the land that we share, just continuing to renew that it's ours together. I do want to say I'm just so proud of our longstanding relationship, and things like this might only take a moment, but they are symbolic. And it's especially nice to connect through the idea of a park, because a park, of course, is a symbol of community. It's a place where people come together to enjoy each other. And it's a natural space, an outdoor space, a beautiful space. It's all about enjoyment and rest, play, even skating, right? So I think that's just nice that it's moments like this where we can say we're really committed to people and doing what's right by our community together. So I hope this is just a small reminder of how much we can accomplish when we work together. And again, how eager I am that we'll build even better partnerships than this. But thank you for inviting me in for just a moment of renewing our relationship and our partnership. So thank you all.
Good. Thank you again, Dr. Nixon and Judge, for taking time to come down. And I agree, Dr. Nixon, it is important to celebrate these moments and to make sure that everybody's aware of that relationship and the collaboration that goes on sometimes behind the scenes. So thank you all very much. All right. At this time, I almost got ahead of myself before. I mentioned that we have several proclamations tonight. We have three. That are all important in their own way. And if it's without objection, what I'd like to do is read the proclamations, and for each of the folks that's here, to offer them an opportunity to address the council. Then after all three people who receive the proclamation have had a chance to address the council, I'll present the proclamation one at a time. We'll get the council to come in where we can get a nice photo, if that's okay with everybody, and that's okay with the council. Good? All right. I mentioned before that not long ago I had a call from Cassidy McCool Solis, and hopefully I'm saying your name right, and that sent something about apraxia awareness, and I didn't know what that is. And one of the best things about being in this particular role is I really learn something every day. So she educated me on it and asked if we would be willing to do a proclamation for awareness, and I said that we certainly would. So I would like to go ahead and read the proclamation now, and then Cassidy, if it's okay with you, I'll give you the mic when we get done, and we'll come back and I'll present that to you once we get through the three of them. This is for Apraxia Awareness Day, whereas May 14th, 2025 marks Childhood Apraxia of Speech Day, during which awareness will be raised throughout Berea, Kentucky about childhood apraxia of speech, an extremely challenging speech disorder that affects 1 in 1,000 children. And whereas childhood apraxia of speech causes children to have significant difficulty learning to speak and is among the most severe speech deficits in children. And whereas the act of learning to speak comes effortlessly to most children, those with apraxia require early, appropriate, and intensive speech therapy, often for many years, to learn to speak. And whereas, without appropriate speech therapy intervention, children with apraxia will have diminished communication skills, but are also placed at high risk for secondary impacts in reading, writing, spelling, and other school-related skills. And whereas, that such primary and secondary impacts diminish future independence and employment opportunities and challenge the ability to become productive, contributing citizens if not resolved or improved. And whereas, public awareness about childhood apraxia of speech in Berea, Kentucky is essential for families of children with this neurological disorder and the professionals who support them to achieve the needed services for those learning to use their own voice. And whereas, our highest respect goes to these children as well as their families for the effort, determination, and resilience in the face of such obstacles, let it be resolved that May 14th, 2025 is Apraxia Awareness Day, and citizens of Berea and surrounding areas are encouraged to work within their communities to increase awareness and understanding of childhood apraxia of speech. Apraxia Kids is the leading nonprofit that strengthens and supports the systems and lives of children with apraxia of speech. Please visit www.apraxia-kids.org for more information. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Fraley, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of Berea, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim May 14th, 2025 as Apraxia Awareness Day in Berea, Kentucky. So, Cassidy, if you would like to come up and address the council, the floor is yours. And I did give Cassidy a heads up that she'd have a chance to address and help us all learn. But again, this is a new condition that I wasn't aware of, and we're really glad that you're here. Cassidy, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Do you want to say anything? No, that's okay. Mayor Fraley, City Council, fellow Bereans, thank you for recognizing Apraxia Awareness Day in Berea with this proclamation. This is Caden, and when Caden was diagnosed with apraxia of speech at age 3, I made it my mission for him to live in a world that recognizes everyone communicates differently. And it's such an exciting honor for his world to begin right here in his city of Berea. I'm thrilled for the opportunity to tell you more about childhood apraxia of speech, but first I'd like to ask all of y'all, have you recently been in a really frustrating traffic jam? Anyone? Anyone? Where you know your destination, you know where you want to go, maybe you even know like a backup route, but there's something blocking your path. Maybe construction, an accident, a slow driver, maybe even debris on the road. You knew where you wanted to go, but something prevented you from getting there. So apraxia of speech is a motor planning disorder where there's a disruption in the signals from the brain to the mouth, cheeks, tongue, lips, and jaw that prevents correct sound production. So imagine an individual with apraxia, their brain is the driver of the car, and the destination is the word or the phrase, sorry, you okay? You okay? Is the word or the phrase that they want to communicate. They know what they want to say, but there's a disruption along the motor pathway or their route that prevents clear articulation. Individuals with apraxia know what they want to say and they understand what is being said to them. They just experience more traffic than the rest of us. We navigate this traffic jam with frequent intensive speech therapy, and Apraxia Awareness Day exists to honor the hard work that these individuals with apraxia do on a daily basis to achieve intelligible, clear speech. So thank you for celebrating Apraxia Awareness Day with our family and with our son as he continues to fight for clear articulation and his speech. Thank you on behalf of all families who are affected by apraxia, and this is just such an honor.
Awesome.
You want to say anything? Can you introduce yourself? No, it's okay. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Cassidy. And if you'll hang on just for a minute, we'll make sure we get a photo. I know our press corps would like to get that when we get the proclamations read. Our next proclamation this evening, it is, let me make sure I got this in the right order. I've messed it up once already. This is EMS Week, May 18th to the 24th. We do have a proclamation for our emergency medical services professionals. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas emergency medical services fills healthcare gaps by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physician, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and accomplishments of emergency services professionals by designating the Emergency Medical Services Week. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Fraley, Mayor of the City of Berea, Kentucky, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 18th to 24th, 2025 as Emergency Medical Services Week. The 51st anniversary of EMS Week theme is EMS Week, We Care for Everyone. I encourage the community to observe this week with the appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities to honor the EMS profession and the essential services it provides. And when you're out and you see somebody with EMS, please thank them for what they do for our community. Tonight, we do have Andy Kilgore, the Assistant Director for Madison County EMS, that's here to accept the proclamation in just a few minutes. And Andy, I don't know if Sean told you, but you do have time to address the council if you would like to come up and address the council on behalf of your EMS team. Hopefully Sean gave you a heads up on that, because I know I didn't get to.
He didn't, but I think that I can just be short and sweet.
Right.
Thank you very much for the support and attention. We very much appreciate being able to be part of your community and that you get to be part of our community. And we hope that we don't ever take that support for granted, and we work hard every day to earn and keep it. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And I can say that on the times when my family members have needed our EMS team, they always responded quickly and with the highest degree of courtesy and professionalism, and for that I am grateful. Thank you. We'll make sure we get the photo in just a minute if you'll hang with us, okay? All right, our third proclamation for this evening, it is also National Public Works Week, and we have a proclamation. This is, again, May 18th through 24, 2025, and the theme is People, Purpose, and Presence. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Berea, Kentucky. And whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Berea to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th annual National Public Works Weeks, sponsored by the American Public Works Association and Canadian Public Works Association, be it now resolved that I, Bruce Fraley, do hereby designate the week of May 18th through 24th as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contribution they make to protecting our nation's health, safety, and advancing the quality of life for all. And again, we do have Roy Curtis here tonight to accept on behalf of all of our Public Works professionals. And Roy, I know that you have the floor later on, but if you or Sean wanted to say a few things about Public Works Recognition Week, I'll make my way down while you're speaking, and we'll present the proclamations to all three entities tonight. Roy's going to take the long way around. Keep us in suspense.
Well, thank you, Mayor and City Administrator and all the council. Thank you for all your support, with Public Works and stuff. And got a great bunch at work down there. They're really dedicated to their work and get a lot accomplished. But just thank you, and it'd be an honor to accept this for them. Thank you.
Make sure that we get the maximum exposure for the Public Works team and for the proclamation recipients.
Let me get Bruce's chair back all the way here.
You want to get it out of the
I
way?
should have worn blue. I matched you two.
Roll in first.
Yeah.
I didn't get the.
As we were doing the photos, the common theme that I thought of with the three proclamations, it just highlights the good work that's being done in our community, and also things to raise awareness for issues that we all need to be aware of. So again, thanks to all three for being here and for the proclamations and for the work that you're doing in the community. Thank you all. The next item on the agenda is an ordinance. This is number 07-2025, Solid Waste Franchise Revision, and this is a first reading. Mr. Gilbert.
Whereas by ordinance, the City Council awarded a franchise to Waste Connections of Kentucky for the collection and disposal of solid waste in the city of Berea, Kentucky. Whereas the franchise fee specified in the ordinance was incorrect and contrary to the bid of Waste Connections for the franchise and the actual franchise agreement with Waste Connections due to the clerical error. And whereas the City Council desires to correct such a clerical error, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky as follows. Section 4A of the ordinance is B and hereby is revised to read as follows. A, franchise fee. In consideration of the granting of the exercise of the franchise herein, and in further consideration of the grant to the franchisee, the right to make and use the public streets, alleys, and other public ways of the city, since such public properties are valuable properties acquired and maintained at great expense to the taxpayers of the city, and the grant to the franchisees of the right to use same is a valuable property right without which the franchisee would be required to invest substantial capital in right-of-way costs and acquisitions. Franchisees shall pay to the city during the entire life of the franchise a sum equal to 8% of the franchise fee's gross revenues received from collection and disposal services generated within the corporate limits, to be paid as set out in the contract. All of the terms of the ordinance remain in full effect and enforced by law.
Thank you, Counselor. And that, again, is the first reading with the second reading that's scheduled for our first meeting in June. Per past practice, I'll open the floor for any discussion or comments from council. All right, seeing none, we'll have our second reading at our next meeting. The next item on the agenda is department head reports, and this Roy Curtis will be back for the sequel. Our Public Works Director, Roy Curtis, is our feature department head tonight to do a report on his department, and I know we have at least one more to do. Roy, the floor is yours.
Okay, since my last report, when we ran the brush week and stuff, we had a lot of storm damage, and it probably took us about 2 extra weeks to get everything picked up. But we've really been hit hard with the brush collection this spring so far. We've got the shooting range where they can use it now up on the front side for their pistol training for the qualifications. So they're currently doing that now at the range. And we still like a little bit of extending the back out to get the full 100 yards. But it's coming pretty good. And we've got their buildings all moved over there, and parking lots in pretty decent shape. But still a little bit of work in progress, but they'll have a really nice place. Let's see, we've completed all the roadside and short grass mowing, and the street resurfacing. It was completed yesterday, I believe, or day before yesterday. Yeah. But they did a total of 16,653 feet of street. So that's 18 streets that were in bad need of repair, and they're in good shape now. Okay, some of the current things that we're working on, we're back on the grass mowing. That never ends in the spring. And it's brush week this week, so we're currently doing that. We've been responding to all the call-in complaints, and with the stormwater issues and stuff, we've been pretty busy with that. Boone Trace Trail, we're doing the repair and maintenance on that. We went through and got all the limbs and the gravel replaced and stuff where it flooded out. And we're going to go back through this week coming and make sure we didn't miss anything and the storm hadn't done any other damage to it. But we'll have it in good shape for when the hikers come through. Ginger Drive, we're working on a drainage issue down there. The culverts are too small to carry the water flow that we're getting now, and it's overflowing on the road, and it's washed a lot of our road out on the other side of the culverts. So we're looking at some box culverts right now to see if we can get those installed. Street sign repairs, I know we had a lot of street signs that were leaning real bad, so we've got some plates now that we're adding to the sign down at the bottom. And when you drive the sign in, that plate goes in with it and it keeps it from twisting. That's what makes the signs loosen up and then lean over. Vehicle and equipment repair, our mechanics, they continue to do all that, and they're doing a real good job keeping everything running for the city. Building and repair maintenance, Jesse and Jacob, they're doing a good job keeping everything clean inside the buildings and doing what repairs are needed. We've been working too on replenishing our salt supply. We got hit pretty hard last year and used up everything we had, and we was pretty close there at the end. But we got 600 ton in there right now, and then we're going to add some more to it. And then after July and stuff, we'll probably add some more and finish filling the bend up. Let's see, future projects. We got Ball Street, the curb and street repairs down there in front of Shannon Johnson. There's a low spot there that holds water, and in the wintertime it'll ice up real bad, and we're going to widen that a little bit because when the buses turn there too, they've dug a big mud hole right on the side of the road there, so we're going to widen that and get the curbs where it'll drain out, and then we'll have to do a little asphalt work and be done with that. And let's see, then we'll have sidewalk repairs at Boone Street and Jackson Street that we're going to get started on. And then we have some Elm Street curb repairs. And one thing I forgot to mention was Bridge Avenue. We completed the repairs on the curb and gutter. And there's 202 feet, I believe, of curb and gutter that we had to replace because it had all settled and it's holding a lot of water. And then we had probably about 140 feet of street that we had to redo because we had a lot of base failure in it from the water. But we've got that all built back up and re-blacktop, and it's finished. But that's all I have, and if anybody have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Questions or comments for Roy?
A question. Going down Johnson Road, who is responsible for Johnson Road?
I think we have
Johnson.
part of it in parts in the county, right?
Yeah, Johnson Road, we're responsible for that out to Blue Lick Road. Yeah, that's one of our streets for the straight road
From-
agreement with the state.
From 1016 to Blue Lick or
Well, it's from
from Short Line?
Short Line to Blue Lick Road, across
Okay.
the bypass and into Blue Lick.
I know they've had, some people have said they had some problems, so maybe we could check it out. I know you all have been swamped.
Yeah, it's very narrow out there on the end, and then when you get closer to the end too, it kind of narrows down, some deep ditches and stuff, but it needs some attention.
Other questions or comments for the Public Works Director? Roy, and I know with the proclamation, we praise your team, but the guys do a great job, and you do a great job leading them. Also Mildred, let's not forget about Mildred.
Yeah,
Mildred's the
Mildred.
one that reminds us every time that it's Public Works Week. She keeps that on her calendar and makes sure that we recognize your team and all the important work that they do. So thank you, and please thank your team for us.
Okay, well, we'll do.
All right, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right. Would any other department head like to address the council? We have our new fire chief, Charlie Russell, that has about half of the fire department with him here tonight. Charlie, the floor is yours whenever you're ready, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Administrator. So, come to you tonight to recognize a few people and introduce you to a few new faces that's going to be running around the fire department for many years. So, I'd like to introduce you to our recent graduates of Class 6 of the Kentucky Fire Academy. These are our first graduates from the Fire Academy, so we were excited to send them to this. So they've been there for 13 weeks, and I'm sure it's been long for them. In this 13 weeks, they have went and gained 450 hours of training, which includes So IFSAC is an International Fire Service Accreditation Conference, so it's a international certification. So firefighter 1 and 2, hazmat awareness and operations, and then also their IFSAC driver, operator, and pumper operator. So these guys have put in a lot of time and a lot of studying. So this is also classes that are required within their first year of employment here, so they've already got a big step took out of their way. So now they can learn Berea and learn how we operate. So this is a big accomplishment to get done in this 13-week program. Consists of classroom instruction, hands-on skills, physical fitness, and live fire evolutions. So these guys have been put to the test throughout this 13 weeks. They traveled to Elizabethtown and actually got to do some live fire out there. These recruits put in long study time in preparation to complete this program, and I would like to thank our team at Berea Fire Department for supporting these young men and their families supporting them as well. So they have encouraged them throughout their journey. So I would like to introduce you with right now to Hayden Jacobowski. Come on up, Hayden. Cody Sparks, Ryder Short. These are 3 new faces at the fire department. Thank you, guys.
All right.
So I would also like to recognize another group that has put in some time here at the fire department, and there's some new faces as well, but I would like to recognize them for their willingness to go down and volunteer throughout the storm. So I got a text message at 3 a.m. And I didn't hear it that night. I didn't even know the storm had came through, but I'd got a text message saying that they were going to put a crew together and actually respond to London. So this crew was put together. They went to London in the wake of the tornado that hit Somerset and London. This crew searched homes for missing residents. I would also like to thank all that is called and text from the Berea Fire Department and the rescue that wanted to support in the recovery efforts as well. So I've been reached out to several times. So this team showed how much they care for Berea and others, and always willing to go above and beyond to lend a helping hand to others in their time of need. So please keep our first responders and families in your prayers while they recover from this and devastating disaster. So without due regard, Gavin Shanks, he was kind of the team leader that put this group together. Shelby Bryant, Ryan Gretz, he could not make it tonight. Daniel Cobb, Stacy Quinley, Waylon Clemens, and Brent Billings was here, but I think he had to go on an EMS call. So these are the ones who actually responded down to London and to do the search. Thank you all. We appreciate your all support. Thank you for what you do for the fire department, and we really appreciate these guys and gals that we have for our team, because without them, we couldn't do our jobs, for sure. Thank you all.
Thank you, Charlie. And hats off to all of you for all that you did, and for the new folks, welcome. Look forward to seeing you around, and look forward to seeing great things from you. Would any other department heads like to address the council? And I know she's not ready to speak, but I do want to recognize Nancy Conley, our newest department head for the tourism department. Nancy, welcome home. We're glad that you're here, and thanks for being here tonight. All right, we'll move forward, and this time we have the city administrator's report. I'll recognize Sean Sandlin. Sean.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. I also want to thank our guest that's here tonight, also our first responders. Something that didn't get said is EMS also responded to London to help out. That they sent several apparatus and trucks and personnel down there, and that's worthy of another hand clap, if y'all don't mind. I do want to ask for a line item overage tonight. It's in our general fund capital projects line. That is line item number 010-1035-56-130, other land improvements, requesting an overage of $5,284. And that's related to the shooting range construction, just a little over in that line item.
Is there a motion to approve the overage? By Jerry Little. Is there a second? By John Payne. Is there any discussion on the motion to approve the overage in 010-1035-56130, other land improvements for $5,284? Any comments?
Just question. I know Roy said we're close, and we were close the last time we had this discussion, and when is it going to be finished?
So we have pulled off of that project for the remaining of the summer and the fall. We will go back on that just to extend the 100-yard range. So there's like two sections. And we have to pour just a little pad of concrete for them to shoot the 100-yard shot so that they can practice their AR shot. So I can't imagine it being over, a couple of weeks more to go on
But
that
that's all you
project.
like is a little concrete. The berm is finished, all the major stuff is finished.
All the major stuff is finished.
Okay, thank
We're
you.
utilizing that as we speak.
Okay,
this week.
thanks.
Other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the overage, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. The motion carries and the overage is approved. Sean?
As our public director, public works director has mentioned, we've had a lot of heavy rains. It has also showed us the vulnerability that we've had in a couple of locations, and we've put a plan together to address those situations. And I know one was in Stony Creek this week, and it was a big mess, and it was all resulting to the heavy rains. And I just wanted to reassure our citizens when things like this come up, we are hitting that fast and aggressive. As though we did in Stony Creek that morning. We had all teams on hand, and fire department, public works, everybody went out there to help clean that street up, which was an absolute disaster. And things happen, and it's how we respond is how we take care of things. So just wanted to address our citizens on that matter. And we do know of some of the issues that's taking place, and if there is any others, then please reach out to us and we'll address them in the same manner. I did want to mention that we did sign the Lip Street Shared Use Path contract this morning. We have a pre-construction meeting on June the 2nd, and we plan to get started on that project hopefully mid-July, which, it's probably a 3-month finished project. So in the fall, we should have that project completed. We also signed the contract today on the Safe Haven Baby Box. That box has been paid for by funds raised by Sarah Roof and the Pregnancy Help Center. Sarah has also secured funds for the installation of that box in Fire Station 2. So in the next couple of months, we hope to have that box in place and the training taking place through the fire department and the line secured to the dispatch center. I also wanted to take just a second to welcome Nancy Conley back. Bruce kind of got me on that a little bit, but anyway, as the city administrator, it's great to have Nancy back in the role that she's in as our tourism director. Her first day was Monday, and she's hit the ground running, that's for sure. And there's a lot of things to get done before this budget's over, and she's on top of it. So, last but not least, our Berea comprehensive plan is underway. Amanda wanted me to let the public know that we're updating our comprehensive plan. That is a long-range roadmap that guides how the community will grow and thrive over the next 20 years. We're having a meeting for the public, and that meeting will take place on Thursday, May the 29th at 5:30 to 7 p.m. And we encourage all citizens to be involved in this process. This is their opportunity to speak and let us know how they would like to see our city grow and thrive. So please, if we will have this on our Facebook account, obviously, and get the word out, but we would love to see as many people as could be there
on May the 29th. And that's all I have for my report. I'll be happy to take any
I
questions.
got a question.
Sean, or Jerry?
I might have, I might have misunderstood you. That's the Lip Street shared use path you're talking about.
Yes.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
And Sean, just one point of clarification on the comprehensive plan meeting on Thursday, the 29th, the public meeting. That is at the new Berea Gallery and Event Center.
It is
former
at the
Toll
Berea
Building.
Gallery. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Open to the
Failed to
public.
mention. Open to the
Plenty of room, and it's pretty there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll move it outside if the weather's nice, if we get plenty of participants.
All right. Other comments or questions for Sean? Seeing none, thank you, Sean. Good report. Moving forward to mayor's comments. Roy actually mentioned something that I wanted to add on to. He mentioned about the hikers coming through, and what that is, it's the 250th anniversary of Boone Trace. And hikers since April have been hiking from Kingsport, Tennessee, where the pioneers started in 1775, and they're going to be hiking all the way through to Fort Boonesboro. I think that's on June the 6th is the last day of the hike. They will come through Berea, which is on Boone Trace, along Boone Trace Trail at Brushy Fork Park, and they'll go across Elm Street, East Street, Silver Creek Drive, and then we're planning to have a reception for the hikers at Berea Municipal Utilities Building at the end of Harrison Road. So you all are invited to come to that. We have a very nice program. Dr. Nixon's going to be there to speak. I'll be speaking. Dr. John Fox, that is the president of Friends of Boone Trace, will be there. Dr. Fox has really done a lot of the hefty lifting on this hike and preserving and gaining access to Boone Trace and making sure that's preserved into history. But that is on June the 3rd, so that's the same day as our next meeting. June the 3rd, we're going to gather in the 10 to 10:15 range and make sure that we're there to greet the hikers. When they come through at 10:30, we'll have about an hour program, and it'll actually involve the choir from both of our high schools that are going to participate in having some music to celebrate we thought would be appropriate. So again, all of you and members of the public are invited to attend that. Sean mentioned and Charlie mentioned our response, and again, thanks to all of you and for everybody. I know that there are private citizens and others. Sean mentioned that our EMS team had responded, in particular to London, that was hit the hardest. In case you haven't seen, I did read that the maximum winds of that tornado were 170 miles per hour, which is an EF4 tornado and the strongest tornado to hit Kentucky since 1974. Pretty remarkable, but again, thanks to all who volunteered to go down and help out. And I think that's awesome. We can't thank you enough. I did write down just some places that I had seen that are taking donations for people who are impacted by the tornado. One is our Berea Volunteer Fire Department on Melody Lane. They have a sign on US 25 where you turn into Melody, and they're accepting donations to take for relief. Also, the Berea Chamber of Commerce, which is right in the front of this building. If you're here during the day, I'm sure that they will take any donations that you have and check out their websites and their Facebook pages. Also, Blevins Law Office on Richmond Road was accepting donations, as well as Heister Yale at the corner of Bypass and Menless Road were accepting donations to take down to the people who are impacted by that. So again, that shows that we have a caring community from our professional staff and others in the community that are willing to help. And I would encourage you to donate if you're able. That concludes my comments, and we'll next move to council comments and begin with Councilman John Payne. John.
I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out here tonight, and of course, emergency responders, Public Works, thanks you for all that you do and helping make Berea whole after all these weather events make it their way through.
Thank you, John. Katie Startzman.
Thank you. I'm just grateful to your family for attending tonight. I was not aware of childhood apraxia, and so there's always something new to learn about challenges families are facing, and so I'm glad that you all could be here so that we can find more ways to support you as a community. Thanks.
Next, we'll move to Teresa Centers. Teresa.
Well, I won't repeat what Katie and John said, but I do agree with both points. And expanding on Sean's report of the comprehensive plan public meeting at the toll building, they're also that's on the 29th, as he said, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. The theme for this comprehensive plan is your town, your plan, Berea's future, and they really mean that. And so I hope that everybody who's concerned will make an appearance and let their voice be heard. They also have issued a youth survey. We hear so much about there's nothing for kids to do here, there's nothing for youth to do here, and so there's actually a survey that the consulting team has put together. It's just a little Survey Monkey. It's on the Facebook page, and so encourage your young people to go in and fill that out. And also not city related but county related, there is the public viewing of the renovation of the courthouse tomorrow morning, I think at 10. But anyway, thank you all so much for coming out, and to those of you on the fire department who reported to London, God bless you. You all have a good week.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, we'll move to Jerry Little. Jerry.
I got a couple of things. Corey Jane talked about Johnson Road. I guess how we got Johnson Road is when we was getting a new bypass, we was buying right of way, and somehow we got Johnson Road into the deal. It's going to be a very, very costly project to fix. And that's what you do if you don't watch annexation and you take these roads in that's not up to standard. And our mayor turned one down because he said it had to be brought up to standard before we could bring it into the city. It's just, we just don't understand how much it's going to cost on Johnson Road. And we'll do the best we can. We've been out there working on it some, but we've got more work to do. And then the last thing I want to do, I want to thank Dr. Nixon, the judge, and Brill College. It's so nice to you all to work with our city, and we've got to work together. We have got to work together, and if we do, it'll be the betterment for all of Brill. And that's what we're all here for, I think. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. And for the last word, Cora Jane Wilson.
And that's when I wish you'd started with me. But I want to thank everybody for coming, and like Jerry, the Brill College deal, I went to Memorial Park as a child. I can't remember if it was a city program or what, but they had a program there in the summer for kids, and anybody could go. Well, that was like 2 blocks from my house. I spent a lot of time at Memorial Park, but I appreciate that Bruce and the college working together, and it's for everybody. But also, I want to thank all of our EMS. Thank you for the job you do. About a week and a half ago or something like that, I had to call them real early. And my husband was sick, and I was panicking. I even called him back and said, "Where are you all?" But thank you. They checked him out. They got him out. Everything was good, but I really appreciate the job you all do, and also our firefighters. You know, people say, well, they don't do a lot in the police, but maybe you don't. But then you get that one call that I couldn't handle. You know, someone's home being destroyed, somebody's family member being burned up, and I thank you all for the job that you do every day and thoughtless. I mean, it's your job, and you just do it, and I appreciate that so much. And for you all that went to London, thank you. My husband had a cousin, house is gone. She sent me a message. She said, home's gone, everything's gone, but we're fine. But lost everything. Had a friend, if you remember Gerald Poff with Poff Karting.
I do.
They sent me a text early that morning, and their house, it's going to be finished, torn down tomorrow. Connie called me this morning. And so we never know. We should be thankful. But I appreciate you all going to that because, you know, the job you all do is it's unreal, but thank you all I appreciate all our department heads and what the city does, but I couldn't do your job, and I appreciate the job that you do from my whole heart. Thank you all. And that's all.
Thank you, Cora Jane. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn by John Payne, and a second by Jerry Little? All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye.